Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you decided to come and watch another video of mine. In today's video, I will be showing you how I used all of my favorite products from my foundation all the way to my lashes and everything in between to create this very stunning look. I hope that we have some of the same faves. Some of my favorite products are the same as your favorite products, and hopefully that you can take some inspiration from this and learn about some new products that you may have not thought worked out for you. One of my biggest challenges is finding products that work for my complexion and my skin tone, and all of these products work out perfectly and I just love it so much. 3 of my all-time favorite eyeshadows, I could not choose between one. I could not choose. So I have 3 palettes here. The first one would be Manny MUA and Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag. And this is the color palette here. I absolutely love this. I love that it has the neutral shades on this side as well as the pops of color for when I'm feeling a little spicy, as well as a mirror. Definitely one of my favorites. I can create any look with this palette. If you haven't seen my review on this palette, go ahead and check that out and that can give you more information on that. Another favorite of mine would be the infamous Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. This palette is great. It has every color in it possibly that you could ever need for any kind of look, and they're so blendable and they're just so great, and I love it so much. This is also a palette that if I only had this palette to do all of my looks with, I could definitely achieve that. Last but not least is one palette that I hold dear to my heart. It is the Kai Shadow Burgundy palette from Kylie Cosmetics, and this is what it looks like here. And I love this palette because it has shades that I use in between my makeup as transition shades, as crease shades, as shimmers, but I can also create any kind of look I can think of with this palette for me personally. Now with this one, if I travel with this palette, I wouldn't be able to create endless looks, but I could create looks on myself that I for sure love. So if you have any of these palettes and you want to see how I created this look using all of my favorite products, go ahead and stay tuned and keep on watching. To go ahead and get this train started, I'm going to go in with one of my favorite products, and it is the Garnier Soothing Facial Mist in the Rose Water. Now if you know anything about rose water, it's really good with hydration. Now I do have oily skin, but I tend to find that once my skin is more hydrated, then you know, my makeup lasts a little bit longer, my oils aren't peeking through. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a heavy spray of this. Let this dry. Now for primer, I'm going to go into 2 of my favorite primers, and it is the No. 7 Airbrush Away. And I'm also going to go into the Becca Evermatte Poreless Skin Perfector. This stuff is life-changing. So now what I normally do is after I've sprayed my face with my rose water spray, I'm going to take a little bit of this and actually go ahead and start this in my cheeks. Now going in with the Becca, I'm going to start that in my T-zone. I'm starting in my nose, and I am just going lightly. I'm not like dragging it hard, you know. And I'm also going to take this on my eyelids. Now you may be thinking that this is like a lot even before I put on makeup, but you have to think about it, like the foundation of your house and like what the cement is made out of and what the concrete is made out of matters just as much as like the concrete itself. Have you ever thought about that? Okay, well that's drying. I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows. So now I already have my primer and everything on and my skin is ready for makeup. However, my lips are not ready for makeup. I'm going to go into the Physicians Formula Argan Oil, and this is in the Illuminating. I'm going to take a little drop of this and place it right on my lips. I'm going to keep my lips nice and hydrated without giving them that dry, cracky feeling. Now we're ready for foundation. So for foundation today, I'm using my all-time favorite foundation, the L'Oreal True Match. And I do have 3 different shades here, and all of them can work separately for my face and also all together. I love L'Oreal, one of my favorite brands for sure. It has so many skin tones, it caters to almost everyone, and it's just great for me. So I have it in shade C 9.5, which is Cool, Hot Chocolate. I also have it in shade C10, which is Espresso. Espresso is definitely my go-to. This is something that I would wear on the regular, no matter what time of the year. This matches my skin tone. CN.5 is when I'm a little bit more lighter. And I also have C11, which is Coffee, and this is the deepest of them all. So I'm going to go into the shade C9.5, go ahead and place this in my T-zone. And then from here, I'm going to take a dense blending brush, go ahead and stipple this and blend this all in. And then from here, once I have that in the center of my face in my T-zone, I'm going to go into shade C10 for the rest of my face. Now I'm going to go into a little concealer, and I'm using LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Espresso. I'm also going to take a little bit of this on my chin and go ahead and blend all of this out. And then from here, I'm going to go into my Lancome Tint Idole Ultra. This is ultra pigmented, ultra coverage. I'm not going to take this down my nose because I'm not crazy. Even though I put down a matte concealer, I'm not going to risk my entire life by putting a illuminating concealer down the bridge of my nose. If you're one of those people that likes to take risks, of course, by all means do that. But I personally am not going to be a risk taker when it comes to an oily nose. Taking this brush and just blending out those edges, taking over everything, making sure it's nice and blended and smooth. I'm going to go into powders, and for underneath my eyes, I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Powder, and this is in the shade Warm Beige. So now once I have all of that in, I'm actually going to go ahead and set the rest of my face, and to do that, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and this is in the shade 40 Dark. And just go ahead and lightly tap this all over my face. I'm going to be using the MAC blush, and this is in the shade Film Noir. And yes, it is a blush, but I can't find anything that's deep enough for me to contour with. So if you know anything, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Alright, outside. Oh my gosh. They're literally right there. Oh my gosh. Now for my favorite part, I'm going to go ahead and contour my nose. And I'm going to take that same blush by MAC Film Noir and a fluffy tapered brush. Okay, so now that I have my base basically done, and I'm going to get ready to start doing my eyeshadow, I'm going to go ahead and bake. This is the Dermablend Loose Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Cool Beige. I'm going to use this on a teeny tiny Real Techniques beauty sponge. It is dry. My sponge is dry. Picking up a little bit of that powder, and I'm going to start on the sides of my nose. I'm also going to take this underneath my eyes. Okay, so once I am all baked and ready for eyeshadow, I'm going to go ahead and start on my eyes. To go ahead and start this off, I'm going into the ColourPop Single Eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Sea Stars, a very nice neutral brown. I'm going to go into Life's a Drag, and I'm using the shade Campy. I'm going to pick this up on a fluffy brush and go ahead and apply this almost in the same spots that I applied the Sea Star shade. And I love how pigmented this yellow is. As someone as color, it's hard to find colors that stand out on you. And that's what I love about all of these palettes. All 3 of these palettes, every shade shows up on me no matter what kind of base or primer I use. And I really enjoy that. That's something I really look for. I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Mug from the same palette. a nice neutral brown. It still has those red undertones that I definitely live for. And I'm going to take this and start applying this into my crease as my upper crease shade. And I'm taking this all the way into my inner corner, the entire crease from inner corner all the way to outer corner. Now just picking up that same brush that I applied that sea stars with, I'm going to go ahead and blend out these edges. Now going into the Kai Shadow Burgundy palette, I'm going to pick up the shade Brick right down here. And I'm going to take that and apply that into my crease as well to go ahead and blend out that mug. Blend out that mug. Now taking a little bit of that same Brick shade and applying that onto my inner corner, taking that directly onto my lid. I am doing a halo eye, a sandwich eye, whatever you want to call it. I call it a halo eye, where I am adding a pop of color onto my inner corner. And I'm going to go into my Jaclyn Hill palette and I'm picking up the shade Roxanne. Just go ahead and add a little bit of that color. Now taking some more of Campy from Life's a Drag, I'm going to blend all of this out. Now taking a little bit of Mug as well. Now from here I'm going to go back into the Jaclyn Hill palette and I'm going to use the shade Obsessed and go ahead and highlight my brow bone. Again, that same brush with Campy, and I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. From here I'm going to take the shade Chip from Jaclyn Hill. I'm going to use that to deepen and darken up my inner corner and my outer corner. And I am patting this on my outer corner and lightly blending it into the crease. And then as far as my inner corner, same concept, I'm going to pat it where I want it and slightly blend it. So sicky. Taking a little bit more Roxanne from Jaclyn Hill and blending out these edges. And then this is what you should have so far. From here I'm going to take some of my NYX glitter primer and I'm going to place that on the center of my lid. And I am going to take this above my crease just so that when I look straight on you can still see the color and it doesn't get lost. And I'm going to use my finger and blend out those edges. And then from here, the fun part, I'm going to go into the shade Legendary from Life's a Drag, using that on my finger. I'm going to take this and lightly press this right on top of that glitter glue. I'm legendary, all legs, no dairy. Legs, legs, what's on the menu? Legs, legs, what's on the menu? I'm actually going to take a purple brush. This is from Real Techniques. I'm going to dip into the shade Pageant Queen from Life's a Drag. I'm going to use this to blend out those edges. Now taking that same brush that I applied Mug and also the shade from Jaclyn Hill, and I'm just going to blend this out. Now from here I'm going to take an even smaller brush, something with a flat top on it, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of black. The one that I'm actually using is from the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm going to take this and I'm going to start defining that crease just a little bit more. Then now for my lower lash line, I'm going to start off with using that same black and taking this as tight as I can to my lash line. And I'm going to take this from my inner corner all the way to my outer corner. And I'm going to take this and apply this onto my lower, into that outer third of my upper lash line, just connecting. I'm actually going to go into the black from Lunar Beauty. I'm going to use that to blend this out. And then from here I'm going to go into the shade Naked from my Kai Shadow Burgundy palette. I'm using my finger again. I'm going to take this and apply this right to the center of my lid. Then from here, taking that same purple brush, blending out those edges. I'm going to take a little bit more of that Pageant Queen shade on that same purple brush and go ahead and blend out underneath. And this is what you should have so far. I'm going to take a little bit more of that glitter primer. I'm actually going to take that and put it on my lower lash line. Then after putting that there, I'm going to take a little bit of the shade LA from the Burgundy palette. I'm going to take this and set this right on top. Okay, so I'm also going to take in just a smidge of Snatched from Lunar Beauty. I'm going to take a little bit of that and go ahead and place this on the outer parts of my eye, the lower lash line. And I'm also going to take this and apply this right there. Also taking a little bit of this right into the inner corner. I'm going to go into a little black eyeliner. I'm using the NYX matte eyeliner. I'm just going to do a straight line, no wing. Okay, so once I have some eyeliner on, I'm going to go ahead and put lashes on off camera. And my favorite lashes are the Kiss Lash Couture Triple Push-Up, and these are in the shade Corset. I find that these not only open my eyes, but give my eyes just a little bit more volume and a little bit more flirt. So I'm going to go ahead and apply these off camera, and then I'll be right back to go ahead and finish my face. So now I'm just going to go ahead and finish my face, and I'm just going to go ahead and start off by dusting off all of that bake from underneath my eye. Also, any fallout that was there as well. Also on my forehead, go ahead and blend all of this out. Then from here, I'm gonna go into my favorite powder of all time in the entire world. It is the Ruby Kisses Mineral Powder in the shade Ebony. This has to be at least my 6th pan of this. I also have 4 of these in backup constantly. It's just so good. I literally love it so much. I use this powder when I'm not wearing makeup. This powder will definitely like make the government not shut down anymore. Cure any kind of incurable disease. Will allow you to have kids.
You rub it on your skin and it makes you live forever.
But all jokes aside, it's a great powder. So now once I do have that powder on and my skin is looking a lot more even and more smooth, and there aren't as many harsh lines, I'm just gonna go back in and touch up a few more things. I'm gonna start off by adding just a little bit more bronzer and contour using that same Film Noir blush by MAC. Go ahead and just chiseling out my face just a little bit more. And also going and contouring my nose just a little bit more with that same powder just to emphasize it. Now from here I'm going to apply just a little bit of blush, and my favorite blush is the Sephora blush, and this is in the shade, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, so vibrant. Not only do I apply a little blush on my cheeks, but I also take it on my chin to add a little color, also right on my temples. Now from here I'm going to take that same Real Technique sponge that I used to go ahead and bake. I'm going to use that and clean up my nose contour just a little bit. So now after blush, I'm going to go into highlight, and I'm using the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Glow. This is in the shade 1. Now using my fingertip and applying a little bit of this onto my nose. And then from here, I'm going to use that same spray that I started off with, the Garnier Rose Water Spray. Alrighty, now while I let that dry, I'm going to go into and finish my eyebrows and clean up my brows just a little bit more. Now I'm going to take a little bit more of that same powder and that little sponge that I use to go ahead and further bake, further set my face, and also further contour my nose. Be warned that there may be graphic images because I think that I'm going to stop breathing. Sometimes it happens when I contour my nose. Most times it does. This may just be one of those times where I can no longer breathe because my nose is just so skinny. So just be warned that I may stop breathing at any second here. It's getting hard to breathe. And now on to lips. I'm going to go into my Jordana Cabaret Lip Liner. This is definitely one of my favorites. I'm going to go ahead and slightly overline. Now once I have my lip line on, I'm going to take my all-time favorite lipstick, and that is Milani Matte Beauty. This one here. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply some finishing touches. I'm going to start off with just applying a little bit more highlight, and I'm using my Nicole Guerrero Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. This is definitely one of my favorites. going to go into the shade Forever Young, which is that center top row shade. Now, for one last little touch, I'm going to go into my Wet n Wild Baked Blush. And this is in the shade Dare to Soar. And then from here, I'm going to set my face using the Wet n Wild Matte Photo Finish Setting Spray. And then from here, I'm just going to apply a little bit of mascara, and then this look will be complete. Okay, so now once my entire face is done, I'm going to go ahead and add a few finishing touches. I've already did a little mascara on the top and bottom. And I'm going to go into some lip gloss. This lip gloss is actually discontinued. It's no longer made, and that breaks my heart because I cannot find it anywhere. It is the L'Oreal Color Riche lip gloss, and this is in the shade 703 Caramel Solo. And then once I have these big succulent lips on, I'm going to apply a little bit of my Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy glitter eyeliner. I'm going to apply this right to the center of my eye just to open it up and add just a little bit more sparkle. So this is the completed look, complete with lashes, liner, and glitter. Also with some lip gloss. I love a big juicy lip. I'm so glad that I was able to create this look using all of my favorite products. Let me know in the comments down below if you and I have any of the same faves, and we can have a little chit chat. All of these products are definitely part of my go-to and help me create this go-to fabulous look. I feel absolutely gorgeous. This is at my best. This is my look that I would do with these products if I could only have these products forever. And I love it so much. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, go ahead and follow me over on Instagram as well as Snapchat. Before you go, I want you to remember to stay true to who you are, and no matter what, you are beautiful. Bye, see you next time.